James, the look on your face is great. I had to unmute your mic.
Thought I was going to jail. Again.
So thank you to everyone for joining us. I don't even know how many people are here because I posted this like 20 minutes ago, not even 20 minutes ago. But James is my producer. He was my producer when we did a show together in Atlantic City, and we had so much fun. And James has been kind enough to help me launch this, because we're going to become rich and famous, right, James?
Yes. We're darn close to rich and famous now. We're like this close.
And we're just on one lottery ticket away.
This will just launch us right over the threshold.
Yeah. So there's two ideas for the show. So like we try to do stuff that's not super like crazy political, but at the same time, there is some political stuff that we like to talk about. So we're going to try to walk that line between the two. And on tonight's show, we're using new software. So I'm also going to try to run the software from here, the logistics of it, and get the topics that we're going to talk about off the computer while hosting the show. So it should be interesting. We'll see what happens. And you can leave comments. As you can see, you just come across this anonymous Facebook user, unless you go to streamyard.com/Facebook and you allow them to go to your profile so they can put your picture and your name up. So that's your choice. If you don't want to, that's cool too. We don't care. That's fine. I'm also going to try to go to Facebook to see if there are any comments. Oh, that's Katrina, by the way, who is saying, hi, Mary from Arizona. So that's Katrina. Thank you, Katrina. Appreciate you watching. So one of the things that James and I like to do, because we do this on a Monday, because I have a Newsmax hit, so I have makeup on and my hair is done, so I don't have to do it twice in a week. Because
Sure, that's why.
I'm one step away from slovenly at this point.
It's sweat, Newsmax, sweat.
Wait. You ready? So I look all nice, right?
Yeah.
These are my
the Nova good time pants are the way to go, man. I love it. Plush good time pants. Awesome.
This is Chris Christian, who says we can do it. All right. So
thank you.
So one of the things that James and I like to do is take stories from the past week, or at least from the weekend, that you probably didn't hear about, which are important stories. So it's kind of political, but you'll learn that James is definitely he's less political than I am. And because it's kind of my world, so it's not as much a part of his world. And James also, and I know I can say this and he won't take offense, but James makes a lot of poor decisions.
Oh yeah, no, that's true. Yeah.
So James has a really exciting life, far more exciting than mine. Like today, I cleaned a room and I vacuumed so much cat hair up off the rug. I think there may be another cat in the vacuum. So that was my exciting day today. And I did Newsmax, and now I'm here. So James usually has really good, fun stories, especially if he's been to a party. So during COVID, maybe not so much. Oh, yeah. And James also makes bad health decisions as well. So there's usually a new surgery or procedure going on or something along those lines.
Well, I'm dodging that. I did a good thing today.
You did? Did you go for a walk?
Well, better. I've been walking, and I went to a place called Stretch Zone. I'll give them a little plug today in Cherry Hill. I went for a consultation, and they did the magic of the stretching.
Okay.
And I feel pretty loosey-goosey. I like it.
Is it Pilates? What is it?
No, it's a table. It's like if you get stretched after you do if you get therapy, and the therapy when they stretch you out, except that's all they're doing. It's stretching pretty much every muscle in my body. And
you can do that at home for free. How much do they charge you for this?
I don't know. There's some insurance involved. There's some stuff. I haven't figured it all out yet, but
I'm surprised insurance covers it. But you could do that at home for free.
By myself? Well, I have no motivation to do anything by myself. That's usually where I get in trouble. So having a plan and having people help me through the plan is usually how I get things done.
All right.
That's what I've learned. When somebody says, okay, well, here's what you're going to do. You're going to go home and you're going to do this. I usually end up in the room that's behind me here where my drums are, and I just play them.
All right.
So this is why having somebody do it for me is much better. Or help me through it.
Well, I have another friend like that. Hold on, I'm updating my Twitter so that people can follow me on Twitter.
That's good.
So I'm updating. I
Do
don't
you
know if
enjoy
that
the
worked.
Twitter? I have not been
Watch.
on Twitter in years.
Look, I did it. Oh my God, this is so sad.
No, it's okay. Look, we can talk about how both of us are troubled by social media because we have to use it for our jobs. But Twitter, I'm pretty much done with Twitter. It's a
Why?
cesspool. It's a cesspool.
It is, but I'm
I
also.
okay.
Are you on Getter? Are you on Getter?
I don't know anything about Getter. Tell me more.
Where have you been? Getter lost its
Instagram?
Gettr.
Right.
It launched the 4th of July.
Okay.
And it was a big deal because it's someone from the Trump administration. I think it's Stephen Miller who launched it. It's one of the Millers. I get them mixed up, but I think it's Steve Miller. And so everybody thought Trump was going to be on it. It was like, oh, Trump's going to be on Getter. So I knew it was launching, and you could pre-register. Like if you wanted to sign up, you could sign up for like 24 hours before. So I did, and I got Mary Walter. Boom.
Nice.
Boom. And over there, I have a red check mark. Twitter doesn't give me a blue check mark. Over there, I have a red check mark. But it's like Dinesh D'Souza, and it really got. I'm surprised you didn't hear this because Marjorie Taylor Greene got kicked off Twitter.
Right.
Right. You knew that.
I did.
And so she went over to Getter, and because they kicked Marjorie Taylor Greene off Twitter, Joe Rogan was all like disgusted that they would kick off Trump and Marjorie Taylor Greene just because they disagree with them. So he went over to Getter, and they signed up over 500,000 new people went to Getter because Joe Rogan went there.
Well, that could lead into the one little fun story I was even wanted to talk to you about today, which was all this censoring that's going on. Those 270 scientists want to Spotify.
I didn't hear this story. I didn't know this story.
270 top doctors and scientists petitioned Spotify to stop Joe Rogan Experience for misinformation because they don't like that he had on. Oh, who's the guy? He was the doctor that helped them on vaccines. Malone, I think is his last name.
He actually creates vaccines, right. So you think he would know what he's talking about, and they banned him.
Right. And look, yeah, Robert Malone. I was right. Robert Malone. Look, they don't like a lot of people he has on that don't have an opinion that works with him. They didn't like when he took ivermectin and then he had Dr. Sanjay Gupta on and he showed up the picture of what CNN showed him looking like and the real picture, telling him he's taking horse dewormer, and even Sanjay Gupta said that's wrong.
It is wrong.
Look, you don't have to like people who want to take alternate medicines or have to want to do anything, but you can't stop people from having conversations. Look, they didn't like when he had Roseanne Barr on. They didn't like when he had Alex Jones on. They don't pretty much like when he has anybody from the right on to begin with. Right. At the end of the day, it's just a talk show, as he says, by a comedian who gets stoned. So he never understands why people get so up in arm. He's just having conversations.
Can I just say, as a side note here to what you're saying, is your predilection to sometimes getting stoned could also be one of the reasons we make it.
Right. Oh, you heard about that, huh? Wow. Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah, I know.
But here's the thing. The whole ivermectin thing. Look, they don't like it. They call it a horse dewormer. Ivermectin, when it was granted, the people who came up with it or discovered it, whatever the scientists did to get there, won Nobel Prizes. It saved millions of lives. I think it's an anti-malarial. So
it is. It's an antiviral.
It's a drug. It's a valid drug.
Right. They're using it in other countries. Japan specifically uses it all the time to treat this. As he said to Sanjay Gupta, I watched that interview specifically, his doctor gave it to him. He goes, I'm not pushing this as a drug, as a treatment. He goes, my doctor gave it to me. My doctor didn't go, hey, take a horse dewormer. My doctor said, hey, you have COVID. This is what we're going to do. Right. It wasn't, he's not out there like shilling this for the drug companies. He just took something. The problem, and this is what's weird about, I understand what these doctors are trying to say on some weird level is he has a massive platform. He's wildly popular, but from his perspective, for a guy who doesn't pay attention to social media and is really at his heart just a goofball comedian, he's just a podcaster. He's just bringing on guests that he finds interesting, and he's just putting out information that people talk. we're supposed to be the adults in the room to disseminate the information. Whatever happened to, I don't like this, I'm going to turn it off. I don't like what this Dr. Robert Malone is saying. I don't want to hear it, so I'll turn it off. You know what? I don't like Roseanne Barr. I didn't like what she did when she said that thing, and I don't want to hear her side of the story, so I'm going to turn it off. When he had Alex Jones on, who, by the way, who he's known for 40 years and knew when he was just an alien conspiracy theorist, he railed him about some of the nonsense he said. So it's not like he had him on and said, oh, yeah, you're a great guy. I love all this beautiful weirdness stuff you're saying about kids and shootings in schools being false flags. He railed him about it. So it's not like there wasn't an open conversation where he's, saying everything he did was great. It's a talk show.
But this is how, I believe, if you can't win people over with your ideas, what do? You force the ideas on them, right? You get them passed legislatively and you force people to compel. But if people have the right to free speech and can voice ideas that challenge yours, you have a harder job.
Yep.
I mean, look at what's happening. OAN, One American News, is being taken off of Dish. Now, it's so weird that Dish decides to do this 3 days after the president, in his COVID speech, urged social media companies and media outlets to crack down on misinformation and disinformation. Well, if they did that, the Washington Post would be out of business. The New York Times would be out of business. Pretty much ABC, NBC, CBS, CNN, MSNBC would all be out of business based on Russia, and COVID. Rachel Maddow was on MSNBC saying, if you get the vaccine, you can't get COVID. We know that's not true, but she's not censored.
No, right.
So this is I think it's a very scary thing. Scary.
Yeah, you can't be happy about your, you can't take teams on the news the way people are taking teams with political systems. It just doesn't work. All of these news things, and all of them at times have been checked for, taking a stance when they shouldn't have, right? They've all been backed by somebody one way or another, and they've had to be checked. That's why, as Americans, we're supposed to be smart thinking people and, checking in on these people and checking up on their information.
Yeah.
Look, they're in this to make money, right? They're all commercial based. They make money. Yeah. They have advertisers. I say it all the time. And look, we both work in this industry. They all have program directors and people we have to answer to. So at the end of the day, can we just remember that and maybe look into your news a little deeper and check these stories out and check out this information?
But here's the thing. Under Donald Trump signed the right to try law, right? So you hear these stories. There's a family, I forget which state they're in, but they have a loved one who's been on a ventilator for 20 plus days, and dying, and they want to give him ivermectin as a last chance. Like, if it'll save his, what do we have to lose? This person's dying, and they're not allowed to do it.
Right.
Donald Trump signed the right to try bill for these drugs for people who, they can't get the drug because it doesn't have any proven efficacy, blah, 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 all this other stuff. If you're dying, who cares? What's it going to do? Kill you early? Right? Okay, so maybe you're going to die on Monday instead of Tuesday?
It's fascinating they would even question it.
And there's a doctor in Maine who now has to go for a screening in front of a board because she prescribed, I want to say ivermectin or hydroxychloroquine, I forget which one, but maybe it was ivermectin, to a patient, and has posted questioning some of the CDC's protocol. And she's a doctor, so she can't do that. I want to be able to have a conversation with my doctor about what's right for me. I don't think the government should be telling my doctor what they can tell me. Let me ask you questions, and I want your opinion because I trust you. But knowing that the doctors now are going to be afraid to say anything or give you their true opinion because they could, lose their license has been suspended for doing that.
Didn't the CDC just tell people that if you're a teacher with no symptoms right now with Omicron and you're I'm going to try to say you're not telling the symptoms. What am I saying? What's the word there?
Asymptomatic.
Thank you. Sorry.
It's the same thing.
Wait, if you're asymptomatic, you can go back to work?
Well, they're doing that with health professionals. Because they need them back because they fired so many of them for not getting the vaccine.
Let me get this straight. You have the spreadable disease, but you can go back to work with the spreadable disease.
Yeah.
But I can't, I don't know, in New York, go into a restaurant without a card. But you can have the disease where the people need to be healthy, and that's fine to go back to work if you're asymptomatic, where you can't. So that's the people I'm now trusting to tell me I can't take a drug that in multiple countries is okay to take. And by the way, I don't know if ivermectin is the right solution or the wrong solution because I'm not a doctor, but it just seems weird that they want to throw a guy off the air for even having a conversation about it. And yet they're telling people who have COVID to go back to work. So you can see where we're all a little confused, right? I mean,
and this is why the American trust in CDC is like at an all-time low.
But here's what bothers me, by the way. We're both, we're both, I think, maybe left and right of the libertarian-minded people. We're both pretty libertarian-minded people, I think, though. What bothers me is my friends who are very entrenched people who I look on comments and go, man, if you're still a person who questions anything these people are saying, you should unfriend me or unwhatever me. Kind of like during the Trump days, when if you're with this supporter, you're not a this supporter, unfriend me on either side. I'm like, are you people really not still questioning? And by the way, I'm vaccinated. I took the shot. I'm vaccinated. So I'm not saying don't get vaccinated. I'm just saying, how are you not still questioning what these weirdos say when every minute they have crazy guidelines from one minute to the next that seemingly don't make a lot of sense?
No, I agree. I have a cat here who's about to knock my camera over. Oliver, move.
Oliver's adorable. Oliver
no.
in front.
Sorry.
No.
And by the way, I don't know if you, I don't know if you saw, but we're on YouTube. It's also up on YouTube on Mary Walter Radio. So we're good. All right. Let's speaking of the government, let's move on.
Yes.
So here's a story that I'm sure most people didn't see. But back in 2005, Judicial Watch and Tom Fitton, whom I adore, they filed a Freedom of Information Act request with the DOD for records that were related to a secret military unit led by the Special Operations Command called Able Danger. And this report, they're looking for the records that reportedly identified some of the 9/11 hijackers before the 2001 attack, supposedly Able Danger did. And they want these records to find out. The request also asks for U.S. intelligence, law enforcement, and or counterterrorism projects utilizing data mining software techniques to search open record sources in the public domain. Last week, 16 years and 1 month later, the FOIA team at U.S. Special Operations Command contacted Judicial Watch to say it reviewed its current backlog of cases, and they identified the 2005 inquiry as one of their oldest pending requests. 16 years and a month?
So wait, oldest request.
16 years and a month.
Yeah, that's a long time. And have they cleared it? At this point, they're like, oh, we acknowledge it.
No, they haven't cleared it. They did say, before we continue to process your request, our office would like to confirm that you are, in fact, still interested in the subject matter of your request. And if you're not interested, withdraw your request. Just kind of let us know so we can clear that one out of the backlog. And then it ends with regards. It's signed by the FOIA team. And Judicial Watch said, no, we want the subject matter. And they asked them to provide a projected date of when, after 16 plus years, you anticipate accomplishing your mission. And they responded by thanking Judicial Watch for their continued patience. And they expect completion in 18 to 24 months, but it could be more or less. Another 2 years. Instead of adding more people, in the Build Back Better plan, the Democrats want to add like tons and tons and tons of IRS agents because they want to make sure they get every single penny that you owe them or that they can make you browbeat you into paying them. Maybe they should put more people in the FOIA requests departments. Like maybe they could use a few more people there.
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah.
Just a couple, just a hair more.
Well,
so go ahead. I'm looking.
They're certainly going to need a lot of IRS agents for the amount of money they're going to need to start collecting for all of our money they're spending.
Absolutely.
Right.
Well, they are spending money like drunken sailors, but they're doing it because COVID. That's one of my pet peeves, and this is where I'm going to go far afield here, which is one of the things we do on this podcast. Like when James and I work together, I would start out talking about one thing, and we would want end up like over something totally different. Oh, Doug, there's your cell phone. Hold on. Can you hear that cell phone? Hold on.
Yeah, no problem.
Hold on. Hello? Hey, Doc, how are you? I'm doing good. Hold on. I'm doing a live podcast and your son left his phone here. So hold on. Here he is. There you go. Tell your dad I said hello.
One of our more regular callers. Yeah. Maybe not to the podcast, but in life. I was going to say we got a Facebook user.
Yes, we do. Why don't I not see it on Facebook to find out what this person's name is? I'm wondering what the mainstream media will have to say about the co-owner of the Golden State Warriors publicly stating that he and most people don't care what China does with the Uyghurs.
Ooh.
Oh, I missed that.
I did not see that either.
That's terrible. You know what? What do you think? What do you think is going to happen? Because my hunch is a big fat zero. And that's Chris Christian who gave it that question.
Basketball is big in China. No basketball team wants to cross China.
I know.
Nothing. I don't think there's going to be some leftists. There'll be some left-leaning people, I'm sure, protesting it, but I don't think, in general, nobody wants to. No basketball team wants to cross China. That's where there's a lot of money over there for them. So,
I agree.
Unless you're, really for that cause, you'll see how many people really don't care, and they should, but they don't.
Okay, let me ask. So here's a weird thing. On Facebook, I'm looking at it right now, and I have to move this off. And underneath our video on the Facebook group, it says watch more original videos by, and it's like Arabic writing, and it says Mohammed Kandil.
Oh, our buddy.
Like, why is that there? I think he probably tried to friend me once, but what does that mean?
That's a great question.
Huh. I wonder if it's like an advertisement to draw people away from our video onto his, but it's in my group. That's super weird.
We'll figure that out. Yeah. I like, by the way, you're all along for the ride with this because this is a new adventure for both of us. We're both used to completely different software with a completely different setup. Yes, this is all a big adventure. Yeah,
so that's why it's like I said, this is like a technology addled adult dress rehearsal. Yeah. Instead of watching your 5-year-old try to tap dance her way through, it's a small world. You get to watch us try to do this.
Right.
So here's something that bothers me, and this is not political at all, but it comes off of COVID. So last year when we went out to Montana, we get there and we go to this place and we literally couldn't afford it this year because they doubled the price. So, but it's nice and it's on the mountain and it's ski and ski out. We've been going there since 2004. We know everybody who works there. We see a lot of people and it's really nice. And one of the big things they have is they have this huge buffet in the morning. And if you're staying there, it's included. If you're not, you pay $25 to have breakfast. And it's this gorgeous and amazing buffet. So we get there and then they tell us as we're checking in. So there's no buffet. There is a buffet now over in the Huntley, which the same company owns them all, over in the Huntley, or you can have breakfast delivered to your room. Here's the list of things you can order. And there was like 5 things.
Oh.
And I'm like, and no housekeeping unless you request 24 hours in advance because COVID. Everything was because COVID, right? And I said to him, I go, are you taking money off of my, Oliver, are you taking money off of my bill because COVID? Because I'm paying, Oliver, move. Come here. Stop it. He wants to have dinner.
He is one happy cat.
He just came back at me. Go away. Because COVID. So you couldn't get your room cleaned because COVID. And I had to walk 2 buildings over to go get breakfast as opposed to just downstairs. And it was a brunch, but it wasn't even close to what it was before. But everything now is cause COVID. The bar was closed cause COVID. But I'm paying for all these things, but my bill doesn't get less because COVID. So these, and I get that they probably lost a lot of money in some of these places cause COVID.
Right.
But does that mean that they get to charge me the same amount and deliver less cause COVID?
Supply and demand kind of says yes, but I guess you're not going, so.
No, we're going.
Oh, you are going.
This is my friend Bill saying hello to Oliver. Hi, Heidi. No, we're going. We went in 2020. We went in 21, and we're going in 22. So
you're going to do it, yeah.
But we're not staying in the same place. We're staying in a different place because they doubled the price of the place we were used to stay for 10 plus years. $6,000 for a week. I can go to Sandals in, the Bahamas for $6,000 and have and not drop another dime for a week, and everything's paid for. It's liquor, food, my room gets the whole bit. And so we're not staying. We're staying in a different place a little bit. We have to walk to the mountain. I mean, it's not terrible, but I don't schlep, so it's hard. Because like in the winter, you got all the clothes on and you got your boots, and you don't want to walk in the boots because you can destroy. So I got to get these things to put in my boots, and then you got to carry the skis, and I'm on vacation. I don't like to do that.
You're very vaguely prone to breaking, let's just say. I'm surprised you ski.
I have not broken any. Knock on. Oh crap!
Oh wood. No! What did you just say?
I need wood. Need wood.
Okay, go with that. Okay.
No, I fell last year. I fell last year because I usually fall at least once. I fell last year, and I took a pretty good tumble. Like people said that I bounced several times, so like I took a pretty good spill. But I have a like a shoulder brace type thing that athletes wear, and you can make it tighter or looser or whatever. And my shoulder stayed in the socket, which was great because I did land on it. And I just wound up with like a cut up here on my lip that just kind of made it look like either hubby punched me or I had a really, really nasty like cold sore that spread. But it could be worse.
Apparently you break your toe walking on the beach. That's fantastic.
No, no. That's not fair. It was not on the beach. I was windsurfing in St. Lucia, and the wind pushed the sand. I fell backwards, but the mast smashed my foot on the mast caught it just right to smash my foot between the mast and the board. What are the odds of that? What are the odds of my foot being right in that spot? And then it whacked me in the head when I was in the water. But yeah, that's how I broke my foot.
Ouch. But still, like I don't ride motorcycles or go skiing because I know I'll be a statistic. Just my luck.
Oh, you?
Yeah. No.
You are, James, you are built for laying on the beach. That's it. Mm-hmm. You're built for laying on the beach.
Yeah.
That is basically it. Where did these others? Okay, I've got Facebook user. They certainly should have told you what was and wasn't available before you checked in. Yes, they should have. And then we have, she breaks her toe walking on the beach. That is misinformation. I want you censored.
That's right.
Only Mary. Well, they haven't come up on the Facebook page.
I think that could be 30 days in Facebook jail for a comment like that,
I know, especially if it's not true.
I'll tell you, I've gotten real weary about what I post on Facebook now. I called somebody an unpatriotic dum-dum and got 30 days in jail. Did
you really?
Yeah, and the things they said to me were much worse, but they were smarter to put asterisks in a couple letters and leave them out.
And they reported you. So guess who made this comment? They certainly should have told you what was or wasn't available before you checked in. Guess who made that comment? Somebody you know, an old friend of the show, someone who is a regular on our show in Atlantic City.
Was it the nice person who lives out in Washington State?
Linnea? No.
Linnea. Okay.
No, Linnea wasn't a regular.
Okay.
She called in. That's true. She listened and called in. But somebody who was on the air with us on a regular basis.
Who's on the air with us on a regular? Oh, lay it on me.
Okay. She also said this. Monica.
Oh, Monica. Hi, Monica.
So for people who didn't know the show in Atlantic City, Monica used to join us and we would do a wrap up of reality shows with Monica.
That's right.
Real Housewives of New Jersey. We would watch and then do the next night. We talk about it. What was it? 90 Days In. We actually had some of the guys who volunteered to be on 90 Days In on the show. And Monica was our,
Does that mean I'm going to start watching 90 Day Fiance now?
Oh, We were just there's so many of them though. So we're watching 90 Day Fiance the other way, where the Americans move to their country because there's something wrong with the fiance that they can't get into the United States. But they never tell you what it is. But I always want to know, like, why.
Right.
So we're currently watching that, but there's also Love in Paradise, which is the Caribbean. I haven't even started that. They've got a whole new batch of before the 90 days. So that's the next group. So if you want to get in, you can watch that. Then they have all the people who either get married or wind up breaking up with their foreign fiance. And so they have 90 Day Fiance, the single life, where they get to try again, but usually with American-based people. It's a total time suck.
It is, isn't it?
It is, but you know why you will love it, James? Because you admit you make really, really, really bad decisions. These people make worse decisions than you.
I watch a podcast called Your Mom's House, and they were watching 90 Day Fiance for a minute, and they were watching the one where the guy, I think, went like all the way to Ukraine or the Russia to follow the one girl.
Wait,
multiple times.
There's several of them. Several of them.
But I couldn't imagine the guy kept going and not meeting the girl.
Oh, that was David. That was David. And he had the bad hairpiece, right?
Yeah,
he was from Florida, and he kept going there, and she's real. And everybody's like, dude, you keep giving. He had given her something like what? Like how many hundred? He gave her for $100,000, right?
How on earth, after, let's just say you give the first one, I don't know how you got past the first one. But if you go the second time and she's
right, and she doesn't show up.
Like, that's not a sign.
Have you seen him in the cafe yet with the roses and the champagne, and he sits there waiting for her, and she doesn't show?
No.
Have you seen that one yet?
No. I need to watch
it. It's coming. It's coming.
Oh, no.
And then there was the other guy who was dating the Russian, and they were going to meet in Mexico. He works at a nail salon, Caesar. I think his name was Caesar. Super nice guy, but dumb as, I mean, God love him. And he was another one who she just never met him, and he kept sending her money, and he couldn't afford a car, so he was riding a bicycle in order to send her money and all this other stuff. So
I have a friend whose dad is sort of sucked in with something like that, where he's just giving money to like a girl in the Philippines. Yeah. And like, it's really costing her, money. Like she was having to pay her dad's bills. And I'm like, you got to cut this off. You can't, like, what could he possibly getting out of it? Like nude pics? Like, I'm wondering, like even if she's a cam girl for him, like, is that worth him spending?
A what girl? Wait, a what girl?
I said a cam girl, like.
Cam, like camera?
Yeah, okay. Like a camera, Like, even if she's doing like real dirty stuff for him on a camera, like, is that really worth him spending all his hard-earned money and your hard-earned money? Like,
I don't know.
It was a rough Christmas. I'm like, it
was a rough Christmas.
It was a rough Christmas for her. Like, she spent a lot of money, like, paying his bills. I can't believe there's dudes who get caught up in this. Look, I make real bad decisions, okay? I'll lay this out there because I've said it on a bunch of podcasts. I've been to jail twice, right? I mean, I've driven a car into a nor'easter where water rushed over my hood, and I tried to start it while I was underwater. Like, I mean, I've done really dumb things. I can count you really dumb things, but I've never spent my rent and way into my bank account on a girl I've never met.
I know
I've never done that. So I'm not that.
Well, wait a minute. Hold on. You don't have a bank account to spend. Maybe that's part of the problem.
Well, that's true because I've spent it on the jail and the car that I've destroyed. But I mean,
I think the worst luck with cars. Like, James will go out. He would be late to the show. He'd be like, I'm really sorry. I went out to my car and I couldn't get the door open, so I had to crawl through the window. But now the glass won't go back up, and it's like 28 degrees outside.
Guess who had a problem with your car this weekend?
So that's my friend Linda, my friend I went to high school with, who says, I also fell last year and I broke my finger. She broke her finger.
Nice.
We're at that age.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Wait, hold on one second. Let's see. This is for, you know who this is, right?
Oh, we're hit?
Yeah, that was Monica.
That was Monica, yeah.
This is Chris again. It's probably not even a real girl. Right. But guess who this is?
No Santa thanks to Cam Girl ? Yeah, there wasn't much Santa. Yeah, it was a rough Christmas for my friend. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's Monica again, though. Who says
Thank you, Monica.
But she does not watch 90 Day Fiance. I don't think she does.
Well, maybe I have to get her on it too. I did have a car issue this weekend.
Of course you did. It's been a week.
I was driving, and this happened a month or so ago, and multiple cars are flashing their lights at me and honking at me as I'm going down the AC Expressway in New Jersey. And I go, that's a problem. It's got to be a problem. So I pull into the the rest area.
Yeah.
And I have no taillights. None whatsoever. Not one taillight do I have working. Come to find out, it's a recall.
Oh, that piece of mail that you just didn't bother opening?
I'm betting that's what that was. Yeah. I'm betting there was a piece of mail that I didn't open. It said, hey, why don't you bring this car and we'll fix it for free?
Doesn't your mom open your mail for you?
Sometimes.
Where are you right now, James? Just tell everybody.
Basement. Parents' basement.
Because where do you live? Where do you live?
Parents' basement.
There you go.
So
fulfilling all the stereotypes.
Yes. So I am that person that when I get angry all the time and I want to yell at somebody on Facebook, if I'm arguing, I go, look, you're that scumbag. I'll bet you live in your parents' damn it. I can't even do it. I can't even yell at them. Like, I just can't.
Well, that's Christine. My friend Christine Flowers is here, and thank you. And Craig from high school. Craig says hi, Mary. Hi, guys.
Hi, guys.
So, like I said, this is just this is a dress rehearsal, all right. But this is like we do. We're
the best podcast we've done yet. So
there probably is. Well, and look, Monica's home recuperating from hip surgery, so she may watch 90 Day Fiance. There you go. Monica's getting a new hip, which kudos to Monica. And I hope she doesn't mind me saying this, but she came up to Lake George with us. You've been there, James. So she came up with us last summer, and she's walking like she's got a load in the diaper. And she was supposed to be upstairs, and so we wound up putting her downstairs. And I'm like, "Are you okay?" She's like, "Oh, I got to get a hip replacement." And I was like, "Wow, right?" Ooh. But the doctor told her she had to lose weight. When I last talked to her, she lost 60 pounds on her own. Isn't that great?
That's amazing.
Way to go, Monica.
Amazing. Kudos.
Yeah, really good. I did it. It's not easy. It's really not. Oh, Christine says, I basically lived the 90 Day Fiance in my immigration practice. Oh my gosh, we should get you on the show.
Yeah.
We should launch a campaign to get Christine on 90 Day Fiance as like the immigration lawyer in the Northeast that everybody uses. But she's kind of a bleeding heart a little bit, but she's a conservative.
Oh, so she's like me, a bleeding heart libertarian.
Yeah, but no, she's conservative. She's a good Catholic girl from Philly, Italian.
Yeah.
But when it comes to immigration stuff like that, she's a little bit of a bleeding heart, just a little bit. I love her.
Bleeding heart libertarian.
I love her though. Yeah. So she just sent all the emojis. Just let us know. Okay, listen. One of the things we wanted to talk about, I had to because this is another thing that did not make the news. So, the Democrats all want to blow up the filibuster, right? Because they can't get what they want to get through. So they want to because if they can't get it through, they just change the rules, right? So they want to blow up the filibuster. The best part of all of this, on Wednesday, Senator Ted Cruz wanted to sanction Putin and Russia because they're on the verge of invading Ukraine, right? Like they're amassed on the border.
Yep.
So he wanted to sanction them. And the Democrats used the filibuster to prevent us sanctioning Putin. They used the filibuster that they're trying to get rid of.
Can we ask why they don't want to sanction Russia?
Well, the State Department under Biden dispatched officials to the Hill to lobby against the sanctions. So one would have to ask, was it Biden and his son involved with Russia and the Ukraine, even all those documents found on Hunter Biden's laptop?
Yeah, but they should be pro-Ukraine, right?
I think they're pro. Well, did they already get the money from the Ukraine? Or do they want to punish the Ukraine? Wait. Do they want to punish the Ukraine because they were investigating Burisma? And Joe Biden had to bribe them, basically say, if you don't fire the guy investigating the company that my son is on the board of, we're not going to give you your money. Right? So they fired him, but maybe this is a little bit of a payback because that became public.
Look, there's no win if Russia invades the Ukraine. That's not a win for anybody. So letting Russia just have an open checkbook to run around and, pour over that border.
Oh, I don't think it's good, and I don't think Biden will do a darn thing about it because someone did an analysis, and I forgot. Oh, I wish I could remember who it was. It was a talking head on television in the background when I was, I don't know, doing something glamorous like washing a floor. And they were saying that if under the last several presidents, like the last 5 presidents, Putin has acted up every single time, either by invading Ukraine or what was the other one?
Crimea.
Right, Crimea. Every single president but Trump. So what does that tell you?
Trump be crazy.
He knew Trump would do what he said he was going to do. And he knows that Obama, George Bush, Biden, that they weren't going to do what they said they were going to do. They wouldn't mean it.
Well, at the very least,
he thought they were weak.
At the very least, they're all diplomats, and they're all going to play diplomacy. And there was no diplomacy with Trump.
He told you, but that wasn't diplomacy. He told you exactly what he meant. Everybody in this country says that they want to. I just want a politician to tell the truth. And then when you get a politician who tells the truth, what happens? Everybody says he's mean. He's not presidential. Like this is like women who say that they want to date a guy who's just honest. And then if he says to her, look, I'm not going to call you. I didn't really have a good time. Oh my God, he was terrible. He was horrible. She would prefer to have him say, I had such a great time. I'll call you. That's what they would prefer.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
We're all wired a little weird.
I had to tell people that he wasn't coming over for dinner. Has Monica punched out of this now because we're talking politics? I love Monica, but she doesn't like to talk politics with us. Which I can't blame her. That's fine. That's okay. I lost the feed on the feed. All right. Okay. You did a story that you wanted to do, right?
I had the one, and the other one that was funny was the one about COVID. That was just silly.
Oh yeah, that story about COVID with the doctors.
Yeah.
Craig said, this is Craig says Hunter's Russian oil and conspiracy oligarch ties and add China. Who believes Joe Biden is not compromised internationally? Of course. Chris, didn't Trump actually kill about 100 of Putin's commandos in Syria? Yeah, did he, James?
Syria's been an ongoing thing. Yeah, everybody's had something going on in Syria. Russians have been running a proxy war in Syria for a while. That's their test bed for all their weapons.
Yeah.
We had people there too, yes.
So keep talking. I want to see if I can play this video. Hold on.
Okie dokie.
So you keep talking. Let me again. This is running so smoothly.
No, I was going to say Syria's a fascinating place.
Wait, hold on. Hold on. I'm on podcast, and I just go to YouTube, and ours is the first one. It says podcast featuring elderly technology addled adults live now.
That's awesome. It's so awesome. Thank you. Best description ever. Oh, that is the best description ever. I didn't know it would be on the front page.
Oh, well.
That's great.
That is hilarious. Oh, I know where I could pull it up just right here. Okay, so you could keep talking.
No, it's okay. No, I was going to say Syria's a crazy place because nobody really talked about what was going on in Syria for so long. I mean, there was, lots of proxy soldiers there from various countries, all sort of duking it out in a little, I don't know, whose side are you on?
Okay, let me see if I could do this. Okay. If I can, how do I bring in a video from YouTube? How do I do that? Do you know?
There were those buttons at the bottom. If I remember on your side, you had those 3 buttons at the
I have mute. At the bottom. I've got mute, stop camera, microphone, share. You think it's share?
It is share. Yeah.
Share video file.
Yep. Has to be like a 720. It can't be a too high.
Oh no, that's this video file. That's not what I want. Doug taught me how to do this, and I don't know. If anybody knows how to do this on StreamYard, just put it in the comments. Because let me see if this comes through. Let me see if the audio comes through. Can you hear that?
Yeah, low, but I can hear it.
We have the power today to have it.
No, that's because it's coming through on the side of the computer. It's not coming. It's not coming through the audio. How do I share this? There's a magic button that lets you do it, and I did it yesterday because Doug made me walk through everything. What is that? Solo layout. Oh, that's just me.
Ooh,
Okay, that's us.
that was in
And
a
then
little
this
box.
one's good. Watch. Oh,
Ooh,
so professional.
look at us. We're in a neat box now.
How do I bring this over?
As I say, I'm
I don't
very
know.
comfortable in pink.
Yeah, well, this is the one that Dan made for us. So
I'm okay in pink. I really am, actually.
okay, good. I know you're very comfortable with your manhood.
Yep.
Oh, look at Craig. He's so sweet. I don't know how to get this video up. I wish I knew. Let me call my husband. Oh, he's on the phone with his father. Let me text him to see if he knows how to get this up. That was an odd sentence.
You do that. Russia's scary right now. Let's just talk about that. So the scary thing in Russia is they're going through a massive modernization thing of their own military. So they're not as big as they were when, let's say, they were the Soviet Union, but they're not that far behind us technology wise as far as their like basic infantry, tanks, aircraft. They're pretty close to back up to us. And then right on the heels of that, you have China. And China is surprisingly not that far behind us either. They're pretty scary. Okay. They're pretty darn scary. So
hold on one second. My IT department has arrived.
Oh, IT showed up, huh?
Yes, he's very. How do I get this on here?
What do you mean?
I want to play this on here.
Share your screen.
I did
Everybody
hit
meet
share.
Doug.
Okay, share screen.
Yeah, say hi, honey, and your hat's all crooked.
Sorry.
Hi. And Oliver, who wants dinner, share.
Share, and then
share screen.
Share screen.
Oh, James and I picked video file. Share screen.
And then pull it down.
Okay.
2.
Screen 2. Oh, okay. Here we go.
Yay.
Right?
Yep.
Now, how do I get just this?
No, wait.
Though?
Now allow.
Okay, but how do I get just this without all this extra stuff?
Go big.
Doug's already famous. Look at that.
Go big. Go big. Okay. Okay. Sorry, James, to interrupt you, but now I know how to do this. Okay. Allow. Oh, there it is. Okay. Have you seen this? Now, is the audio up? Ready?
We have the power today to have an impact on tomorrow. And we can't shortchange the significance.
Thank you.
Should we have done that sooner?
We are doing it.
Or should we have done it sooner?
We are doing it. Here's the motivation. Figure out what kind of gives you, your brain a tingle. I mean, the thing about Doug is that he is exactly who he is. If you want to figure out how to get across town to some restaurant you heard is great, you usually do Google. Been to the border. Been to the border.
You haven't been before.
And I haven't been to Europe. Actually, stronger to be kind than it is to be mean. And that's a winning argument. It was a debate. That's the whole reason. Literally, it was a debate. It was called a debate. We must together work together. It is time for us to do what we have been doing, and that time is every day. It's so fundamental. It's so fundamental. We do things that are about saying that our Department of Justice is going to do these investigations.
He's true with ambition. Have big dreams.
You remember that?
Yes.
See you later.
Okay.
You hadn't seen that?
No, that was a lot of substanceless nothing.
I know, but that's why it was great. So I'm sorry, you were talking about Russia, and I just
I was just
figured out how to do this. So
based off where we were headed before, that's fine. No, that was a fascinating load of nothing.
I just had to share that. I think this is Monica.
That was not so inspiring. Not so inspiring.
Okay, so along those lines, to bring it back, like we actually have some direction in the show, as opposed to just our usual which this is what we do. We just talk.
Yeah,
did you see the latest? There was, I think it's an ABC poll that shows that COVID is no longer the biggest concern of Americans. Now it's the economy, and you know what that means for Democrats?
Yeah,
that's trouble for Democrats, right?
Yeah, because you and I are probably never going to agree on Trump, But I've said it before. I mean, economy was his ticket. I mean, that's the thing. We do agree on that was his ticket, right? Diplomacy.
Well, you
Economy,
say diplomacy, but Putin didn't act up. North Korea calmed the hell down, right? Because they
yeah,
all thought he was crazy.
we all could say
We
those
have
there were also building
I mean,
periods too, but
Mexico had their troops on our southern border to prevent people from crossing over because he said, "I'm going to stop sending you money."
yeah, the border situation definitely was better under him for there, no doubt.
Do you think there would be a supply chain issue right now?
Don't know. That's what we want to speculate about. But I will definitely weigh in on the economy, which not doing better. Not doing better.
You think?
Not at all. And I agree it's probably where Americans are more heading because unless I don't know, some new Ebola AIDS variant of COVID comes around, people are going to really start looking around and going, well, okay, we're broke. And there's supply chain issues.
There's no food on the shelves. We're like
no food on the
Venezuela
shelf.
now.
Well, and let's just look at inflation, right? I mean, inflation's insane.
So inflation's insane. There's no food on the shelves, so you can't guarantee that when you go to the grocery store that Frosted Flakes will be there. Or in my case, there's a Brussels sprout shortage apparently because when I go to the store, I have to plan ahead if we want to have Brussels sprouts, which I find odd. But at the same time, ShopRite had their can sale, and they were stocked to the gills. Now I don't know if they planned ahead, but they were stocked. It was really great. But you've got and add into this. Well, all right. Well, let me ask you before I go to the next thing about all of this is how are house prices going through the ceiling? How is this happening? People are selling their homes. Everybody's like, "Are you selling? You're selling." Everybody's selling because they're getting a stupid amount of money. The house diagonal across the street from us sold for $3.2 million. They're knocking the house down and building another mansion.
It's like Canada around here. The prices are so high. I
How
don't understand that.
Everywhere you look, there isn't a place that you could look at where the prices, except the inner cities, which the Democrats have trashed, those you can get for a song because you're probably going to have to evict the crack dealers or the meth den that's there. But everywhere else, it's through the ceiling. So how do you have inflation plus the sky high prices for the houses?
Rich people rule the world. Poor people have nothing. I don't know.
But these can't be all rich people.
And I don't mean rich people. I mean like giant mega corporations that have the ear of the politicians, and we have nothing.
I don't think it was a giant.
Zero control.
Wait, hold on. We have zero, but I'm talking about two different things. The people moving in across the street from us aren't a giant mega corporation. There's another house down the street that just sold for $8,897,000.
Who's buying
I kid you not, almost $9 million.
Well, who's buying it?
A lot of New Yorkers fleeing the crap hole that they made out of New York, and then they're coming down here and they're voting for the same crap that they left in New York.
Well, right.
They're the ones with the Biden flags out, and you're like, oh.
Yeah, look at all the people that rolled out of California. They're rolling into places like Austin and all those places. Those people
and Montana.
Yeah, they're not happy either. Right. They're rolling out of the big cities and they're rolling down these other places, and none of them are happy about it.
But how does it not register in their brains that stop voting to create the same stuff you just left? How does that not register?
Here's the problem. Who are the good ones, Mary? I always say this all the time, though. Then who are the good ones, right? When the Republicans had everything, they still didn't do anything good. They didn't do anything good. They didn't end Citizens United. They didn't make the taxes better. They didn't fix anything. When you had Republican governors in New Jersey, they didn't make New Jersey better. Right? Republicans had everything in New Jersey. Or New Jersey didn't turn out to be the better state. Or they didn't change the property tax system. They didn't do any of that stuff here. It's not like Republicans get in everywhere and all of a sudden the country's the better place.
No, but when Republicans were running New Jersey, taxes were lower.
How much lower?
Lower than they are now. Since we moved into this house in 1999, our taxes have gone up every single year. Every year.
Right, because the property tax situation is built on a ridiculous thing. Your property taxes are paying for schools out of your property taxes. It's a dumb system. Until somebody fixes that system, it's always going to be subject to this. So in theory, it's not going to be a Democrat or Republican thing. It's somebody has to fix the broken system. But who's going to take up fixing that broken system? Nobody's going to be long enough to fix it anyway. I mean, Christie was there 8 years. He never touched it.
First of all, there's another piece out by The Hill that let's see. Income data published by the IRS shows that on average, all income brackets benefited substantially from the Republicans' tax reform law under Trump, with the biggest beneficiaries being working and middle income filers, not the top 1%, as so many Democrats argued. A careful analysis of the IRS data that includes the effect of tax credits and other reforms to the tax code. Filers with an adjusted gross income of $15,000 to $50,000 enjoyed an average tax cut of 16 to 26% in 2018, the first year the Republicans' Tax Cut and Jobs Act went into effect. Filers who earned $50,000 to $100,000 received a tax break about 15 to 17%, $100,000 to $500,000, 11 to 13%. No income group with at least $500,000 received an average tax cut exceeding 9%. And for $1 million or more was less than 6%. So everything that they told you about the middle class tax cuts under Trump, his rich pals, blah 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 blah, was total bull, was total crap. So it did get better under the Republicans. Boom.
I don't like that. It's cute.
If I had some bourbon right now, I would take a swig of it.
If I had some bourbon, I would take a swig of it. Wait,
I only have
water. Hold on. Wait.
Oh,
I do have
nice. I'm a Maker's Mark kind of gal. I do
like Maker's Mark too.
I like my Makers, but I have to get up tomorrow. All right, very quickly.
Yes.
According to a poll, a new survey found that the average adult wastes 26 days a year to quote wasted time. Now, I don't know if that includes my time watching 90 Day Fiance. I don't know if that's considered wasted
or
not.
Tell me that stat again. Read that one more time. I need to hear that again.
A new survey out of the UK found that the average person spends 26 days a year to quote wasted time. They found the average person spends nearly 2 hours daily doing a whole lot of nothing. Over the course of a week, that amounts to over 12 hours of wasted time, more than 624 hours annually.
Okay.
Over half of the respondents said waiting on hold on the phone is their biggest time suck. 45% point to waiting in lines as the biggest drain. 44% waste time, say, sitting in traffic. Social media, 21% says that's a time suck, totally.
Yeah.
Drinking coffee or tea is another one, with 15% say they lose track of time while they're waiting for the coffee to brew or the kettle to boil.
Yeah, that social media one can be a big time suck. It's amazing how much you can get into Instagram and find out you're just 1 hour gone.
I'm not on Instagram.
Yeah, that's what replaced Twitter for me, was Instagram. It's a happy place. That's what we can go back to Twitter real fast. We kind of skipped over it. I got off Twitter because I just got over the wanting to argue with people. That's all Twitter is. It's just the cesspool of anger and arguing. Anger and arguing, Mary.
I know, but that's why I went over to Getter, because I go to Getter for sanity. And then I go back to, I like to get on Twitter, and when liberals just start calling me names, because that's what they do. They don't make an argument. They just call you a name. So I only respond by correcting their grammar and misspellings.
Yeah, I know. You used to do that on my Ghost and Postings, and I put them on my Facebook, remember?
I know. And it's so much fun because they get mad.
I very classically do a thing on Facebook I like to call Ghost and Post, or Post and Ghost. And, you would just mix it up with my friends all the time. And the greatest things you would do were those when you would mess with people's grammar. The yours were my favorite ones. How many people still write Y-O-U-R for Y-O-U''RE? It just gets me all the time.
And they would get so mad. It was so great.
I know. Oh, look at this. This
is from Craig.
Okay. Issues all ship back up being pushed out to sea. View question: can you stun a person jump back deck to deck to those ships across the Pacific Ocean? Also, it's education extortion tax. It's the education extortion tax. I had no
children. Why am I taxed? So I agree. I agree with Craig on this one. I don't mind paying to put for the public schools. I don't mind that. But I think the money that should go with the child, not the school. I don't think a kid should be stuck in a crappy school just because of their zip code. So I think the child, it should be it should be the school tax. It should be the child education tax, and it goes with the kid to wherever they want to go to school. I also don't think that we should pay for more than 2 kids per family to go to school, because the theory is that I'm paying because I got an education, so I'm paying it back now. But people who sent their kids to private school are also paying for public school. But I'm with Craig. The child tax credit. Why are we paying people to have kids? What the hell is that about? And then you always say, oh, well, it's expensive. I'm like, well, so is a boat, but I don't see anybody paying for one of those for me.
Yeah, but couldn't the taxes come out of things people buy for kids? I mean, does it have to come out of property tax? Don't other states do this a better way? At least I'm told
but
that's how it is.
he's taught that's for education. It's 2 different things. The child tax credit is where they get $3,000 a year back. They automatically pay $3,000 a year less for every single kid they have just because they procreated.
Right.
I don't understand the yippee or fertile tax. I don't get it, or credit. I don't understand why we're paying people to have children. I don't know. First of all, I don't know anybody who says, oh, I'm doing it because I'm doing it for the money. Nobody says that.
Right.
But why are we paying people to have kids? Why should people who don't have kids especially pay? Why is anybody paying anybody to have kids? I don't care whether you have kids or not. Why are we paying you to have a child?
I'm a graduated flat tax kind of person, so I'm out of this discussion completely. So
I think it should be the same across the board, not graduated. The only problem with
I could do a slight graduate. I could do, 15%, 18%, 20%
don't
or
punish
something.
Success. Nope. Don't punish success.
Look, if that's the compromise to get a flat tax, I'm okay with that. I mean, that's the compromise in my mind, is some kind of minor graduated flat tax, and the only exceptions being, military, crippled people, and you can age out at 65 or something. But I mean, other than that, no exemptions whatsoever. None.
Yeah. The problem in this country is we allow everybody on disability.
Yeah.
I just watched an episode of my 600-pound life. This chick was on disability when she was like 24 years old because she weighed over 600 pounds. I'm like, why am I paying you to sit home and eat?
If you're 600 pounds because you can't be anything but 600 pounds, I get it. If you're 600 pounds because you like cheesecake, yeah, you don't deserve to be on.
Right. And because they're all on disability, and I'm paying these people. I got to go out to work because they've eaten themselves into not being able to go out and work.
Right.
I understand you have an addiction to food, blah, blah, blah. I get it. Fix it. Everybody's got a problem. Everybody's got a problem we got to fix, right? I just get tired of, well, you especially. My God, I can't believe you're not on disability. And he wants to know. I
refuse.
Could you have?
My back, I could have one of those little handicap things in my window. I don't take one. I don't want one.
Wow, good for you. I'm impressed.
I don't want that money. I don't want that parking space.
You never go shopping. So what are you kidding? Your mother does all the shopping. Can a stunt person jump deck to deck on the ships across the Pacific Ocean because of the supply chain backup? Only I have no idea. James, figure that out by the next show.
I think that's possible.
Guess who this is? Ska. You mentioned her name earlier in the show.
Oh, is it Linnea?
It's Linnea.
Hi, Linnea.
Yeah, she said it's cutting out on her end though. So.
Aww.
I know. All right, so we got to get going here because Oliver is just absolutely going to knock the thing over here. Let's see. Most adults, 56%, are aware that they need to practice better time management. Which one of us could need to practice better time management, James? Oh, you're raising your hand. I could see your hand. It was way above your head.
This guy.
All right, hold on. Let me bring you back bring your hands back in the picture. There we go. Yeah, you're terrible with time. Earlier tonight, I'm having dinner, and Doug's like, "So what time are you doing this?" And I'm like, "I don't know. James hasn't gotten back to me. I have no idea. I don't know. No clue." One night I was here, but before we were broadcasting these, so we were doing, just like trying to get our flow back, like what we used to do. And so I'm sitting here with a friend of ours who used to be on the old show too, but now he works on a radio station in Philadelphia, so he can't be here. And but he was here just helping. And both of us are here, and he's like, "Well, have you heard from James?" I'm like, "No, I haven't heard from James." And he goes, "I don't know. We didn't know where you were." And like half an hour after we're supposed to start doing this. She's like, "Oh, I'm stuck at work." He didn't call, he didn't text, he didn't read emails, he didn't read anything. And he just sends me a text finally and says, "I'm stuck at work."
Fairness, I had headphones on the whole time, so I looked down at my clock and went, "Oh shit."
Yeah. So, all right, we're done. I think we should probably give this a rest. And thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. We're going to try to do this, on a regular basis, but I do have the ability, apparently, to schedule this, and I can put up the date and time approximately when we will be doing this, and we've got a 5-minute countdown clock before we're getting ready to go. So if you guys have ideas of things you want us to talk about, and if you would like James and I to give you, if you would like us to give you advice, that was a segment we did on the old show. You know who we got to get on here? We got to get Tina on here.
I just talked to both Tina and Rachel. They would happily, if we were taking calls or taking messages, which I'm sure or get them on, they would happily do that.
And they are a trip and a half. All right. So everybody, Chris, Linnea, Craig, Monica, Linda, Katrina, who else was on here? Now I don't see all of the names anymore on Facebook. They kind of like go away, the comments. It rolls, and then when there's no room, it looks like it goes away. Oh no, 37 comments. How come I don't see 37 comments though? Weird. Okay, but I don't see all the comments, so I apologize. But thank you so much for joining us, and we will do this again soon. Bye. Oh, wait, hold on. Don't go anywhere. Wait. Ready? Okay. Bye.
Ooh. Wait. You're muted.
Sorry, I muted our mics.
There we go.
Craig says, keep me in the loop. Bill says, fun stuff. Bye.
Nice.
So what? No, it says, I have to end broadcast. Oh, I forgot to end the broadcast.
This is the post-show wrap that we're still live for. Welcome to the Live Mary Walter post-show wrap. I'm James, your host for the post-show wrap here on the Life of Mary Walter. My guest is Mary Walter, the queen of the show.
He's like, my husband's in the other room yelling, "You're still on it!"
No, it's the other show, Doug. We're doing the post show. I'm the host of the post show. Hi. I'm Mitchell's host of the post show. I have Mary Walter here on the post show. Hi.
Oh my God. Okay, let me do this again. Hang on. I was saying everybody who is here. Okay, so let me try it again. Ready? Go. Oh, you can't see this one. This one's not so good. Hold on. Let's try this one. Okay.
Like one.
Oh, you like this one better? They can still hear us.
That's okay.
So we could talk over this in the background because they can still hear us.
Oh, that's great. It's way better than the box where we had to have that 1 second delay for a couple days. Remember that?
I do remember that. By the way, Linnea, Doug says hi.
Still live.
They can still hear us.
Yeah, it's great.
Okay. Yeah. So Linnea says hello. The mountain one, Doug. I know you. Oh, now I'm going to end the broadcast. Yeah. Bye.